Good afternoon, everybody. It is me, Armando. It's almost 11:30. I'm here in San Francisco, and I'm about to go check out the Giants game today. And so today, I kind of want to give you a little background on how I became a life coach. Um, but I had to go a little further back. Um, I was always a very artistic kid. My mom introduced me to the arts at a real young age. I watched a lot of different movies, read a lot of different books. I loved going to museums, and I used to draw a lot too. I was a really good artist at second grade level. I was drawing um, all the time. But then, but as I grew older, and when I entered high school, I I discovered that I wanted to become a filmmaker by studying William Shakespeare because he wrote and he directed his plays on stage, and he incorporated a lot of his personal life into his work. And so, and also for me, I also kept journals growing up. I've always written all the time growing up, and so I thought that's perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. And it seems so cool just to put in your personal life into your work, as as having that be the inspiration for your art. And so, I I stayed on course with that throughout my for the rest of my time. And I went to San Francisco State. I graduated there in 2008 as a film arts major. And during that time, you know, trying to establish a film career in San Francisco is very difficult. And so during that time, I was also working as a temp. I worked at different companies through different temp agencies. And one job in particular um, helped change the trajectory of my life. I worked as a data entry clerk for a place called Progress Foundation. It's a mental health institute where people with various mental health issues go and they get treated for the issues. And Progress Foundation, they have different buildings at different locations in San Francisco that are pertain for a certain amount of time for certain people. For instance, one location could just be 2 weeks, a 2 week stay. Another place could be just 4 to 5 months, and then other places could be for about a year. So it just depends on what the client needs. And so I was doing data entry work, and I was just reading up on the case files of all of the clients that they had, and the case files range from drug addiction, abuse, rape, incest, numerous arrests, and going back as far back as their childhood, being as young as 5 years old. And so I was, you hear about these stories all the time, but when you read it and see it in front of you, it was just mind blowing. And I remember I was talking to one of the employees there in the office, and I inquired about, is this really did this really happen to these people? And she said, yeah, they really did. And again, it was just, you in the back of your mind, you know things like that could happen, but when it's read in front of you, it just broke my heart. Just broke my heart. And so while I was there, I became friends with one of the managers at one of the houses, and he told me that you should apply for a job as a relief counselor. And I said, a what? What's a relief counselor? And he said, well, it's a position that you can apply for to help out with our clients. All you need is a college degree, and we'll train you, and we'll show you what to do and what not to do. And he kept on telling me this over and over since while I was there. And I just thought, well, okay, fine. I mean, if you believe in me enough, then I'll do it. And so I went, and I was a relief counselor there for about a year, and I was completely changed and moved during that time. It was there were some great times there. There were some very difficult times while I was working there, but ultimately it just helped me out in a very, very different, positive way. It made me realize that my problems are not as bad as the people at at Progress Foundation, and a lot of them really are good people. They really are good people. They just need the proper guidance and a better way of viewing life. And so I remember one time I was talking to one of the clients there, and she said, Armando, I wasn't gonna come to your group sessions, because one of the things I did as a relief counselor, I held group sessions with everybody, and we would have conversations about different topics that are fun for them and that could stimulate their mind and help them establish coping skills for them. And I remember one woman came up to me and said, Armando, I wasn't even gonna come today, but listening to you and talking to you, you really made my day very easy, and I am so appreciative of everything that you've done for me. And so I was just left feeling like, wow, if I could just touch one person, affect one person with what I do, then that's an accomplishment. So so then after that, after a year, I went and I decided, I want to further my education in this field. And so cut to 2020, summer 2020, I had just been let go of my job with Ricoh. I got hired full-time with a company called Ricoh, which is a site coordinating company. They let me go, unfortunately, because of the pandemic. Woo! That was loud. So they let me go because of the pandemic. And so after a brief, woe is me, I went to my favorites on my computer, and I remember that I had been associated with a school, an online school called HCI, which stands for the Health Coach Institute. And so then I just said, you know what? Something inside me is telling me that this would be a really good investment, because not only will I figured if I'm going to be quarantined, I better be doing something or learn a new skill. And so ultimately what I did was I went in, I applied, and for the next 8 or 9 months, I was invested in learning how to be a life coach. And later on in future videos, I'll talk to you more in depth about things that I've learned. But I will close this by saying that 3 things that really stood out for me. One is to trust yourself, trust the process, and to know that you are enough. And I'm going to talk further about that later on in future videos, like I said before. But yeah, the journey has just been it's been life-changing, and I'm really appreciative of where I am today, and I look forward to sharing more of those stories with you. So I just wanted to let you all know that today is going to be a beautiful day, and I look forward to sharing more of myself and my stories with you. And I just hope everyone has a beautiful, blessed day, and I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Take care.